Let's see. That worked. Cool. It's delayed. All right. Let's see. Yo, what up to the one person watching? I'm gonna continue recording the audiobook tonight. I'm sorry it took forever to get set up. Fucking the Facebook page is down for some reason. So just trying to get that figured out. And then I tried like 50 different ways to set up the camera, or not the camera, the fucking mic, including on a cat tree, to try to get better sound from last night, but nothing worked. So starting pretty friggin' pumped, but we'll jump back in. Feel free to chat. Yeah. Let's see. Pull this bad boy up. Make sure all bad boys are working. All right, cool. So jumping back into chapter 17, and all of this is for Hunt Valley, Maryland. I'm trying to get, turn this off. Trying to get trying to get the audiobook done by Monster Mania in a couple weeks. So hopefully it will be done. Thanks for watching. Let me know who you are if you watch more than like a minute and dig it, and I'll send you a copy. All right. Chapter 17. Baron, fucking wake up! Baron's eyes shot open. He was still staring up at the sky, only now he was on his back and his head hurt like a mug on a Monday. Whoa, he muttered. What the fart happened? Must have crashed out. He backflipped up and noticed that he was lighter than he should have been. Grindax wasn't there. At your 6, man, his buddy called from somewhere. You're 2, 18, friggin' look out! Baron turned just in time for his jaw to catch a mailbox-sized fist. He twisted and flew through the air, slamming down hard before finding himself staring at the sky again. Ho ho ho, whack, 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 a deep voice laughed. Dual barrel roll! Baron tried flipping up again, but his right arm was wrecked. He ate dirt. Wing damage, the voice taunted. Since he couldn't flip, Baron stood up like a normal dude, but a normal dude who was fully pissed/primed. He turned to face his new arch rival, a stout, barrel-chested caveman monster wearing Gene everything. Hat, shirt, jacket, pants, shoes, shoelaces, you name it. Baron swallowed hard upon the realization that he was dealing with a true maniac. But then he saw that the caveman held Grindax in a denim anti-pump web, so he spit hard instead. Have a good nap, the caveman chuckled. You're fuck dead! Baron yelled so intensely that his voice cracked, so dead sounded more like Dade or maybe even Dad. It was brutal, but he couldn't help it. Seeing Grindax confined stressed him out. Plus his throat was mega dry since he had just woken up. Plus stuff like this happens to everyone at some point, so it shouldn't be a big deal. But it was to the caveman. Ho ho ho, oh my fuck, he gasped. I can't handle it. The way I heard you busted into Monsteropolis, I thought you were gonna be tough. But now I see you're nothing but a little baby bitch. A little baby Bichon, actually. Chilling in an old grandma's purse, smelling like butterscotch and spearmint. Shameful. Anyway, King Boogie needs your guitar. He also needs you to stop fucking around with all our citizens. See ya, idiot. The caveman slung a hoverboard, a real one, not a bullshit one, off his back, grabbed Grindax by the neck, which should never be done to a guitar, and took off going 6507 miles per second. Baron sat on the ground and wondered what the fuck just happened. He had never felt so depressed and powerless. He wanted to melt or disintegrate or explode something, even himself, especially himself. Suddenly, a hamburger-shaped constellation formed in the cosmos, and an ethereal voice bellowed, "Get pumped or die trying." It was Pump Prophecy 316. Baron furrowed his eyebrows so hard they tickled his nostrils. He shouted super deeply, but not in an overcompensating way, and used his good arm to do a push-up handstand flip, launching himself into the sky where he grabbed a pair of He shouted super deeply, but not in an overcompensating way, and used his good arm to do a push-up handstand flip, launching himself into the sky where he grabbed a pair of eyeball vultures to stay afloat. Last time. He shouted super deeply, but not in an overcompensating way, and used his good arm to do a push-up handstand flip, launching himself into the sky where he grabbed a pair of eyeball vultures to stay afloat. An ordinary/weaker man would have become distracted because they felt like boobs, but Baron remained hyper-focused. He spanked the eyeball vultures to make them flap their leathery wings faster, and then quickly blazed after his best friend. Right, let me check. I think it's clipping. Oh my gosh, where he grabbed a pair of eyeball vultures to stay afloat. Last time. He shouted super deeply, but... Yeah, it's too much gain. Get pumped or die trying. And chuckled, "You fuck dead!" Baron yelled so intense. Alright, we'll save it anyway. I think it's gonna be too loud. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Baba. Let's see. Cool. All right. Wife always looking up. Chapter 18. After remembering that he was wearing jet boots, Baron ditched the eyeball vultures and quickly followed the hoverboard's chemtrail to Monsteropolis Community College. He found the caveman chilling behind a gym, kneeling carefully to avoid getting grass stains on his denim everything, and awkwardly trying to play Grindax for a succubus cheerleader. "Shit, babe," the caveman said, plunking the same two chords, E and E minor, over and over. He sounded a lot different talking to the chick than when he was talking crap to Baron. His voice was way higher, and each sentence had an unconfident question intonation. "After my internship with the Knights of the Boogie Board is finished, Dean the Beanhead and I are totally starting a band. It's gonna be like a death metal instrumental thing, but with like a progressive electro swamp synth vibe." "Oh, Maniac Johnny," the succubus swooned. "You're so cool and your face is so symmetrical." "Yeah, and I love that you have an internship with the government, so even though you're in a metal band now, once you graduate you can wear salmon polos and buy me an entry-level luxury SUV. I'll need one to drive our bowl cut babies to Tai Chi, which they'll call Tai Chi Latte because I'll always order a chai tea latte before taking them." "No doubt, babe, but what else?" "And I just love the way your denim rustles." "Yeah, there it is," Johnny said contently. He dropped Grindax and began arrhythmically thrusting/rustling. Grindax was relieved to get a break from the caveman trying to play him, and super relieved that he fell face down so he wouldn't have to see the denim thrustles. Unfortunately, he could still hear them. "I'm hoping to mic my den when we play our first gig," Johnny continued. "And then, really make sure it sounds solid on all the monitors." Oh, I fucked that up. "And, really make sure it sounds solid on all the monitors." Grindax began to eat dirt in hopes that it had a low LD50. The succubus scooted closer to the caveman. "Totally. That'd be so hot. Say, Johnny, do you think I could be in your band?" "Ooh, I don't know, babe," Johnny replied cavalierly. "That's a toughie. What can you play other than denim flute? He wiggled his fingers at his crotch and intensified the thrustling. Well, nothing, well, nothing, she giggled. But I bet I can sing. I'm probably really good at it. I could see that. Your throat's pretty banging. So, I don't know, I'm sure DTBH won't mind. Maybe instead of instrumental metal, we could do like a chill folk thing instead. Baron had heard enough. He dropped out of the sky directly on top of the chick, squishing her into a pancake topped with pom-pom berries. Blood and succubus juices, Long Island iced tea mostly, sprayed all over Maniac Johnny, but not a droplet touched Grindax. Baron made sure of that. The caveman monster shot to his feet, creating a sonic boom of denim. Bro, my chick! You squashed my chick! He yelled. Oh, all right. Bro, my chick! You squashed my chick! He yelled, his voice cracking big time as he fluctuated between tough voice and baby voice. My guitar and best friend! You stole my guitar and best friend! Baron mimicked using the baby version. Oh, man. Bro, my chick! You squashed my chick! He yelled, his voice cracking big time as he fluctuated between tough voice and baby voice. My guitar and best friend! You stole my guitar and best friend! Baron mimicked using the babyier version of Johnny's voice, but still refusing to say bro. Hehe, so good. Grindax snickered into the dirt. Right, I guess I did, huh? Johnny said coldly. Well, then now we're even. He lifted Grindax from the ground, raised a knee, and brought him down hard. Even Grindax's neck of twisted nails was no match for Maniac Johnny's knee of woven denim. There was a sickening snap, then silence. Baron's heart dropped into his boots, burrowed through them, and kept going until it reached Monstropolis' version of China. All of the Chinese monsters were so struck by the heart's sadness that they sang songs and told stories about it for generations. But due to what scientists slash preschool teachers have dubbed the telephone effect, within weeks everyone was crying over a mythical earthworm warrior who killed his dog after failing to catch it on a marshmallow pillow. That was a rough one. Let's see. We'll fix it in post. Don't worry. Too true. Fuck Maniac Johnny. All right. Cool. Done. This message is held for review. Let's unleash it. Unleash that S word. All right. 19. Chapter 19. Baron rushed to Grindax's side. Busted, the caveman laughed. Like, actually busted. In half. He dead. Baron morphed every molecule of his body into pure fiery hate, and Jetboot launched himself at Maniac Johnny. He torched through the denim like a crazy lava arrow. The flesh went even easier. As Baron blazed through Johnny's torso, he started chomping all over the place, taking out chunks of flesh/heart/bone until his head, covered in blood like a crazed vulture, exploded through the other side. Baron then swung his knees down, smashing the caveman in the crotch and exploding any chance he ever had of polluting the world with little denim babies. Johnny's shriek barfed with such force that it blasted Baron out of his chest cavity. He stuck a perfect landing, covered in blood, puke, and pump, but it was a hollow victory. He rushed over to Grindax, who was dying, or frying eggs as Baron called it to help mitigate the pain/reality of the situation. Dude! Baron cried as he frantically picked up the two pieces that were once his best friend in the universe. Syrup! Grindax choked. Oh, man, nice callback, Baron replied. Heh, you know it, Grindax rasped. Anyway, I think I'm out. No way, Jose, Baron said with a smile. Grindax gave him a confused look. Callback, Baron urged. Really? Yeah, remember the first chef monster? Nah, not really, but crap, man. First chef monster? Today was pretty sweet, huh? Big time, Baron said, running his fingers over Grindax's frayed and broken strings. They were beyond tuning. The duo sat in silence as Grindax's breathing became less labored and less frequent. Good night, my precious homie, Baron whispered. Ugh, friggin' weird, Grindax replied while narrowing his spider eyes at Baron. Baron started to chuckle, but then he stopped. Baron started to chuckle, but he stopped when the 8 orbs faded from black light to straight black. For hours, Baron wept like he didn't give a crap, because he didn't. The tears washed away the blood, the pain, and the past. He had just experienced the biggest drop on the most blackout pump roller coaster of his life, and now the first incline lay ahead of him. He'd have to crest it if he wanted to reach that sweet vertical loop. With Grindax's part slung over his shoulder, Baron turned toward Monsteropolis Community College. He needed to find a necromancer. Say, what was that? 19. What you think? Pretty good, eh? Alright. Cool. Only lost one viewer on that one. Chapter 20. Monsteropolis CC's front doors exploded open as Baron busted into the main hallway. At first glance, it looked like a normal enough monster school. There were rusted/slimy lockers, screaming eyeball clocks, janitors wheeling mop buckets filled with guts, and countless monsters of various shapes, sizes, and coolnesses. The nerdiest monsters, a clan of emaciated ghoul geeks, huddled in a far corner, gnawing on bones and staring longingly at monster babes. The babes were decomposed, of cheerleader succubi and mummies wrapped so tightly you could see their areola bumps. Each of the babes was attached at the hip, some of them literally, to a party/jock monster, swamp creatures with bleach-tipped fins and Frankenstein monsters in piecemeal varsity jackets. Ordinary fucking monsters. I hate them, Baron thought. Oh man, I gotta get that better. Ordinary fucking monsters. I hate them, Baron thought. He kept scanning until he found whom he was looking for, the goth monsters. The majority of them were baby-ass vampires wearing eyeliner and black lipstick and rocking such unconfident posture that their fangs dipped below their shoulders. The rest comprised werewolves with dyed black fur and full finger rings, ghouls who were just cool/rich enough to not have to hang out with the ghoul geeks, and overweight zombies who weren't goth at all but merely wore black to hide their bellies. Baron didn't see any witches or warlocks, your typical necromancers, chilling within that island of misfit monsters, so he busted over to ask where they might be. Hey man, Baron said as he approached one of the cooler-looking werewolf dudes. The werewolf looked up, narrowed his eyes, and blew a massive cloud of vape in Baron's face. Normally, Baron would have smashed the kid's fucking face before the vape dissipated, but he needed to play it cool if he wanted Grindax back in one piece. Thanks for the vape share, homie. Oh, wait. Thanks for the vape share, homie, Baron coughed. NP, man, the werewolf said in a voice that sounded like a high baby lost in a bat cave. Great plumage on that one. It's V-Vape's latest juice, Eldritch Taint. Yeah, I can totally taste the mold, Baron said, swallowing back a rush of vom. Sweet, rad, the werewolf replied softly. He looked back at the ground. So, Baron ventured, do you know any necromancers around here? Yeah, the werewolf replied sleepily while still not looking up. I think Layla's into the manse. I've seen her bring back bugs and crap. Discontinued sodas, little stuff. But it doesn't always turn out right. One time she brought back sliced red, but it wasn't in the black can. Another time she brought back a petrified belch owl. It started belching like crazy. I don't know if that's what they normally do. Probably is because their name. But the belches fucking reeked. I mean like hot grandma egg farts. Not like the grandma was hot, but the farts were. So I guess grandma egg hot farts. Grandma hot egg farts. Baron choked back another torrent of vom. Anyway, I was vaping my favorite juice at the time, covered couch in what is most likely a haunted house because the clawfoot tub in the upstairs bathroom has an octopus in it. It's also by V-Vapes. I can write it down if you want. I'll remember, Baron lied. Sweet, rad. So anyway, now I can't vape that flavor. Damn, Baron said, relieved that the gross yet boring story was over. Sucks. Yeah, it's tragic, the werewolf sighed with a dramatic hair flip. I doubt I could even, vape share it at this point. He said the last bit super awkwardly, so Baron got pumped thinking he had taught the werewolf a new term, and now he was using it because he thought Baron was cool. So, where's Layla now? Baron asked. I think she's in necromancy, Ashley. Ashley? Actually. Dude, Baron said, losing his patience. What room? 13... The werewolf started before he was cut off by a vampire with hot pink bangs gelled into inverted crosses that covered both of his eyes. Hey man, don't tell this poser where Layla is, the vampire whined. He's probably a pervert, or a cop. A perv cop poser. How repugnant. Baron's capillaries, veins, and other blood parts filled with rage. He ran every calculation in his head to see if he could kill this kid without scaring off the werewolf, who seemed sensitive, or drawing the attention of a bunch of professor monsters. Thinking about crabby teachers yelling at him when they didn't understand the situation hit too close to home, though, and Baron just friggin' lost it. He grabbed the vampire's bangs and ripped them off his scalp, turned them right side up, and slammed them back into place. The vampire shrieked as the crosses burned through his eyelids and wild eyes cat-eye contacts, which he claimed to have bought to make him look sexier to the other goth monster dudes, but that was just a ploy to make him look sexier to the goth monster chicks. Baron wasn't finished. He slammed Grindax's broken guitar neck into the vampire's chest and hammered it in with his pickups. The makeshift stake blasted its way through the monster's back, taking his heart along for the ride. The vampire fell to his knees and blindly scrambled for his heart in an attempt to cram it back into place, but it was too late. Dude was ash. The hallway exploded into screams as monster students and adjunct professors tore around in every direction. Oh crap, Baron muttered as he came back to reality from his violent catharsis. He needed to find Layla and get out of there ASAP. All he knew was that she was in room 13-something. He looked down the hallway. Every room was 13-something, because it was a monster school. 20 Dunzo. Yeah, I noticed that. The reflection makes it green, and then it goes empty. Oh wait. If I put the black light straight up on my glasses because the UV blocking feature, then it looks like mega pad shades. I'll show you. See, can you see from here? You can't really see, but yeah, it looks like pad shades. I'll show you when you're here. You'll be really impressed. It's like Ultimo transition lenses. Cool. What else is going on? Anyone doing cool Labor Day stuff? Is that tomorrow? Labor Day? Yeah, that's death of summer. Memorial Day is start. Yeah. Just socializing here. Chapter 21. Baron busted into the nearest classroom. A skeleton sat atop an exercise bike, cranking his legs like crazy. Attached to the wheels were 2 wires, which terminated on the nipples of a giant bat monster. Ooh, do come in, the bat called to Baron, but he was friggin' out of there. He tried the next door. A fish monster in a polka dot dress stood at the front of the classroom. She turned abruptly at his intrusion. What is the meaning of this? She demanded. Baron scanned the room. It was full of witches, warlocks, and a few elder bog monsters. The day's assignment was written on the chalkboard. 10/31. Show your work. Revive each of the following: Nuclear Vom Roach, Tropical Pee-Pee Sucker, OG Ghoul-Aid, packet, not pouch. Oh yeah, in case Audible's a prick. 1. Nuclear Vom Roach. 2. Tropical Pee-Pee Sucker. 3. OG Ghoul-Aid, packet, not pouch. Baron knew he was in the right place. He started, picking up some papers from a nearby desk and shuffling them to look official. The principal would like to see, Layla. Ooh! Oh, wait. Oh, the class erupted. They turned their gaze to the middle desk where an insanely hot witch babe shrank in her seat. She had pale skin, black hair, black eyeshadow, black lipstick, black nail polish, rad jugs, and a Critters from the Commode 2 t-shirt that she wore because she dug the sequel more than the original, not just because it was more obscure. She was the kind of babe you would take to Taco Bell before busting over... She was the kind of babe you would take to Taco Bell before busting over to Party City to look for Halloween stuff even though it was May. Ugh. She was the kind of babe you would take to Taco Bell before busting over to Party City to look for Halloween stuff even though it's only May. A real keeper. Baron insta-popped a boner and used a stack of papers to cover it, which meant holding them super far away. Layla stood up and moved closer toward him, when a giant fin... Layla stood up and started moving toward him when a giant fin covered in red nail polish grabbed her by the shoulder. "Layla's not going anywhere until I finish my lesson," the teacher screamed, spitting bits of fish food/feces all over Baron. "Now park it!" Baron's boner evaporated into a fine mist, and he plopped down at an empty desk. Layla returned to hers. "All right, class," the teacher began. "Where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? Ah, yes. Open your necromancy nomicons to page 138. "No," Baron interrupted. "You can't tell me what to do." He leapt out of his seat, boner insta-reboned. "I can't or I mayn't," the teacher laughed condescendingly, shaking her pencil earrings that someone, probably her cat sitter or mom, gave her so she could be the fun professor. Baron realized how utterly bullcrap it was that he sat down just because the teacher told him to, even/especially a fish monster teacher, and that he must have been programmed from an early age. All right, here we go. Baron realized how utterly bullcrap it was that he sat down just because a teacher told him to, even/especially a fish monster teacher, and that he must have been programmed from an early age to do whatever a bunch of idiots said as long as they were older than him and in an ostensible position of power. Ooh-wee. But he wasn't having it anymore. He summoned all of the nano pump bots swimming around in his bloodstream and inputted cheat codes to make them rewire the crap out of his brain. Suddenly, he was filled with so much pump that the classroom began to spin. He ripped off his shirt and threw a dozen stink bomb peg winders directly at the teacher. They shattered all over her, slicing apart her scales, eyes, and fish lips and mixing her blood with whatever chemicals are in stink bombs. "Fart!" the teacher screamed, either as a general exclamation or because that's what she now smelled like. The class shrieked and ran for the door. When they opened it, their screams combined with all the other screams in the hall to create stereo screams, which got Baron even more pumped. He activated his jet boots and barrel roll rocketed into the crowd to search for Layla, but she was nowhere to be found. Cool. It's pretty good. I'm talking? What that means? Like reading? I am reading. Hey, man. So one of our friends was in town this weekend, and he has little babies, little kids, and we went out to eat. And Castellano's instigating the whole time, getting the kids super fucking pumped and like pumping them full of quarters for the arcade machines and cracking up at all their dumb jokes and parent wails, to the point that one kid had a breakdown and left and had to go sit in the car for a while. And then the other one was left behind, and she got so pumped that all of a sudden her eyes went crazy. Like you could see the fucking whites around her irises entirely. And she goes, "Oh my God, I can see lightning." And yeah, so it's probably good we don't have kids, because they probably wouldn't make it past like 3 years old. A fucking heart attack. Excellent. Chapter 22. "Oh wait, she's right here," Baron said as he spotted her running away with the werewolf vape monster. Baron blazed over the crowd and grabbed Layla around the waist, scooping her into the air. As she left the ground, she felt scared, but also intrigued. She didn't know who this stink bomb bad boy was or where he was taking her, but looking into his manic eyes told her that wherever the destination, it would be intense. She began to relax and go along for the ride when suddenly the werewolf vape monster broke her spell. "Layla!" he vaped. Oh wait, that's not his voice. I don't even fucking remember his voice. "Layla!" It's the same fucking thing. "Layla!" he vaped. "That's him! That's who killed Count Boussois! That's the perv cop poser!" "Oh, fucking narc-ass," Baron said disgustedly. He lowered a jet boot and maxed out a thruster, torching a hole through the werewolf's chest and releasing a plume of hot grandma egg fart vapor that blasted Baron and Layla out the front door of the school. The two kept flying until all of the monster's students, professors, and cafeteria workers, including a bunch of obese chef monsters below them, transformed into neon... Oh, it's a weird sentence. The two kept flying until all of the monster's students, professors, and cafeteria workers, including a bunch of obese chef monsters, below them transformed into neon marshes in silence. Well, almost silence. Layla bit and shrieked through the entire flight. Baron knew he needed to get her somewhere chill/secluded so he could calmly explain that he wasn't a perv cop poser and he wasn't a perv cop poser and he only wanted her to bring his best friend back to life. In the distance, he spotted a giant mountain with foliage in the shape of sideburns. He decided it was as good a place as any. As soon as he flew over and sat Layla down on the mountain's peak, though, she insta-booked it. "Yo, wait!" Baron called after her. "I just need your help. I don't want to do anything gross to you. I mean, I do, but not if you're not down." Baron wasn't great at talking to people or monsters, and ordinarily this would have been when Grindex reminded him to chill. But Grindex was dead, which is the whole point of this thing. So, Baron chased after Layla while screaming about how he definitely wasn't going to rape her. She bailed down the mountain, tearing frantically in and out of the sideburnesque vegetation. Baron did his best to keep up, but when he finally reached a clearing, she was gone. He was just about to give up and dedicate his life to monkhood when he heard her scream, "Perv, help!" Baron blazed after the voice, wondering if she was talking about him, like, "There's a perv after me, so someone help," or calling to him like, "Yo, perv, because that's all I know you as, and perv is faster to say than perv cop poser, and PCP may be too confusing because of the drug, help." When he spotted her, he was pumped to see that it was more the latter, but bummed to see a giant rat monster dragging Layla down a black hole in the side of the mountain. Cool. 2, 3... Oh, wait, no, 22. Chapter 22, cool. Sweet. You know what time it is now. Time for this boy. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. I'll do a little mini pump. And then a musical pump. And then a continued pump. Mini pump. Chapter 23. Baron raced after Layla and the rat monster, following them into the abyss. Once inside, he found himself in a labyrinth of dark passages. Beady red rat eyes glowed in every alcove, and Baron knew he was F-bombed. The rats crawled out of their hiding places and surrounded him. They all wore sweet punk clothes like leather jackets and jean vests covered in rat-related patches about spicy cheese or mousetraps or whatever. One of the rats, probably the leader because he was 7 feet tall when the rest were closer to 5 feet, pushed his way into the circle. He rocked a massive beer gut, massive mohawk, and shades so black the lenses showed you alternate dimensions if you stared into them. Baron stared, and saw himself reflected as a chubby weakling. He was playing video games by himself in a white-walled, white-carpeted room, his belly covered in cookie crumbs and teardrop stains. He wished the vision was fictitious, but it was factitious, or factual. Factitious apparently means something different. But what Baron saw in the shades had actually happened. They were the dark days before he started lifting, and before he found Grindax. He'd almost forgotten the dark days, but now they were right in front of him, with a mirrored version right in front of the rat monster. Ho ho ho! Well, 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 what do we got here, boys? The rodent guffawed, his rat teeth... The rodent guffawed, his rat teeth grill clinking with each laugh. A little fucking nerd game, baby? You lost? Little fucking nerd game, baby? Baron shook his head to clear the image, but he remained frazzled and at minimal pump. Dude, where's the babe? He demanded as toughly as possible. What you know about babes, little baby? The rat laughed. The rest of the rats laughed, and their slightly cheaper grills caused a metal cacophony to echo through the cave. A lot, Baron snapped. What do you know about babes, big baby? Ha! That the best you got? The rat snorted. Shit, man, get you some coffee. That shit's weak. You phoning it in, like whoever controlling your verbiage hit the wall, relying on some crutch-ass shit, honky-ass shit. Well, Baron struggled, but allow me to introduce myself. Cho rude ass coming in here asking about babes without even so much as a hello first. The name is Deshawn Bitches, a.k.a. King Rat. King Rat! King Rat! King Rat! Roared all the other rats, except for one who looked kind of fucked up. He shouted, Ring Cat. You here in my kingdom of Sideburn Mountain, King Rat said as he waved a scaly, bejeweled paw around. And there ain't no nerd games here, little nerd game baby. So I'm thinking you must be lost. I'm not a nerd game baby, Baron growled, swinging Grindax's pieces over his shoulder and into his hands. Not anymore. The name is Baron von Babegetter, a.k.a. King Rip. He made up the last bit since he felt like he needed some extra credibility, especially while holding a broken guitar, surrounded by rat monsters, and when Layla might be in earshot. It didn't work. Ho ho! King Rat chuckled. Well, baby von Badwetter, you about to be King R.I.P. That sound weird? You about to be King R.I.P. Ah, it's good. It's good. All right. So check this shit. One of my buddies is working on an album of Welcome to Monsteropolis inspired music, which is insane. So it'll eventually be 18 tracks, and then we'll press it to vinyl, like probably 100 or so. So it'll be a one-shot deal, but I'm gonna put money into it so they look fucking sweet. Like if I can get glow-in-the-dark vinyl or something, I'm definitely gonna do it. But this song is so good. This is the tentative version of the King Rat song. I'll play this, chill for a couple minutes, come back and knock out a couple more. Pretty sweet, eh? Right, check this out too. So I know at least if Jesse's still there. Wondering where Sam Killa is. This boy too sleepy. That's him currently. Oh, sweet. Green screen effect even on that. And yes, I am changing the sheets on the bed. So there is no duvet cover in case you're concerned by that picture. It's all part of the plan. All right. Chapter 24. The rats exploded in laughter and began high-fiving, slapping tails, and pretending to hold each other back. You said that right on the tee for me, King Rat wheezed. I said what? There that ball go. All the rats narrowed their eyes and nodded in deep thought. Baron had no idea what was going on. See, you gotta be quick, King Rat preached. That's rule number 1 of getting babes. Rule number 0 was you don't go around saying shit like, my name is King Rip. Hi, my name is King Rip, King Rat mimicked using his white breadiest voice. How are you on this fine day, ma'am? Would you like to buy a vacuum cleaner? The rat monsters figuratively lost their shit. The kind of fucked up one, literally. King Rat continued, now that's you. And babes don't go in for that shit. Babes don't go in for broke-ass dudes holding broke-ass guitars. But those are the only freebies you gonna get. You wanna know more? You gotta buy my book. Deshaun Bitches Guide to Getting Bitches. That why you here? You here to buy my book? No, Baron snapped. I already told you. I know how to get babes. I'm awesome at it. And I'm here to get the one you kidnapped. Oh, hell no, King Rat said under his breath. That man say, audacious, ostentatious. Nah, man, she mine now. Chapter 9 of Chapter 9 of DSBGTGB, verse 11. If you can't woo 'em, kidnap 'em. Put 'em in the trunk. They always come around. King Rat winked and his shade showed Layla chained to a throne made of cheese and tinfoil. See? King Rat sneered. She like it. A strand of drool fell from his grilled snout. Baron became pissed and then doubly pissed. The fact that he now cared about some chick on top of all the other bullcrap going on in his life was too much to handle. Even with the odds and rat monsters stacked against him, he took his shot. He swung Grindax's body/neck in the air like nunchucks and charged. Ha! King Rat chortled. This boy think he a samurai. He lifted his tree trunk sized tail into his paws and prepared to swat the incoming Baron like a gleaming white wiffle ball. Ha! King Rat chortled. This boy think he a samurai. I had to get that line better because it's a verbatim line from some kid in our high school. Let's see. Saved. Cool. What else is going on? Anyone doing anything cool? Anyone have cats? I went to Home Depot today, man. They have fucking crazy Halloween shit. Check this out. Fucking sandworm. Massive sandworm inflatable. Giant werewolf monster. It's like probably 8 feet tall or so. Mega spread. But the cool thing with the werewolf, and there's like a big ass witch and some other big animatronics, is just kind of nuts to have that perspective again. Because like when you're a kid, everything was like that tall, so it's all looming and all like, man, if that were real, like there's no fucking chance to survive. Make your time. So it was cool to see that and like feel it on some level again. Yeah. Chapter 25. All right, still swallowing there. Chapter 25. King Rat swung his tail at Baron, who used Grindax's body as a skateboard deck to 1080 hand beezy over the incoming appendage. He flipped Grindax's neck around the tail as he launched over it, ensnaring it 500x with the razor wire low E string. He flipped Grindax's neck around his tail as he launched over it, ensnaring it 500 times with the razor wire low E string. As Baron landed and with a swift yank, King Rat's tail flew into the air. A shower of blood and scales followed, spraying across the cave walls and painting them a kind of semi-gloss, kind of eggshell magenta. It was nice. King Rat threw back his head in an agonized shriek, launching his shades off his eyes and onto Baron's. Baron hyper-focused through the multi-dimensions and saw King Rat for what he truly was. Not a getter of bitches, but a bitch himself. Reflected in the shades was a younger, fatter, non-mohawked King Rat. He awkwardly knelt on the edge of a bed, and in his crotch was a limp/microscopic peener. A hot slug chick, who looked like a younger, slimier, more mandarin, less tangerine version of the waitress from Scrape the Goody Off, lay naked in front of King Rat. Her nipples were as flat as pancakes, indicating that she wasn't even half turned on. "No!" screamed the current version of King Rat, who was more concerned about losing his bravado than his tail. The rat crew turned slowly from the shaded Baron to the shadeless King Rat. "Stop looking at me!" King Rat cried. "Stop looking at me!" young King Rat echoed in the shade vision. His voice... this works. His voice sounded identical to the one he had used to mock Baron. "You're making me nervous, and that makes it nervous." My gosh. Slugjug sighed a super unimpressed sigh. "So what? I'm supposed to have How does she talk? So what? Welcome to Scrape. "So what? I'm supposed to have sex with you with my eyes closed?" "Yeah," young King Rat replied hopefully. "You can pretend you're sleeping and I'm just a ghost or something that comes in and does my thing. That way there'll be no pressure on me and it'll be like a sexy fantasy for you." "There's no fantasy. That's no fantasy," Slugjug chided. "I don't fuck around with ghosts. Not anymore. Ectoplasm and shit all over my eye stalks." "Ectoplasm and shit all over my eye stalks." She slimed her way upright on the bed and pulled on her shirt. "I also don't fuck around with babies. And right now, that's you." "No, wait," young King Rat shouted. He pointed to his wiener, which had grown slightly but remained microscopic. "It's working." "It's working. Call me a baby again. I'm just a little diaper baby, right?" "Ugh." Slugjugs grunted as she slimed off the bed and made her way to the door of King Rat's parents' basement. You need some self-esteem, Deshandrius, and career aspirations beyond the walls of Pet World. And deodorant that doesn't have a dragon on the label." "Oh yeah?" young King Rat called after her. He fell off the bed and dragged himself across the floor, tugging his taffy rodent dick as he crawled. "You're just a bitch." Young Slugjug spun around on her slime axis, ready to slap the shit out of young King Rat with an eye stalk. Instead, she shook her head and turned back to the door. You and I both know who the bitch is, Deshandrius." "You and I both know who the bitch is, Deshandrius." The door closed, and young King Rat found himself staring at his reflection in the mirror on the other side, his wiener so non-bonered it was fully concave. The shade vision faded out, and everyone turned their attention to modern King Rat. They no longer saw the mohawk tattoos or grill. They saw a tailless wiener child, writhing in a pool of his own blood while trying to flex his arms to look tough. "Take me to the Layla," Baron growled. He took off the shades and threw them at the pathetic pile of mess. "Deshandrius." King Rat scrambled for the shades. "Ha! Now you fucked up!" he cried as he slammed them back onto his beady eyes. He stared intently at Baron, hoping to see another vision of weakness. Instead, he saw Baron screaming in a galaxy of blacklight lightning bolts, doing one-arm pull-ups while shredding on Grindax with the other arm. Bikini babes clamored around him, clawing at his crotch and begging to be taken to the bone zone. King Rat died instantly. Baron turned to the rat crew. Someone else take me to Layla? $25. King Rat's so good, man. It's probably my favorite. Chapter 26. The rat crew led Baron down a series of dark passages packed with pimento cheese and sideburn trimmings. They eventually reached a small grotto where, in the middle of the floor, Layla was chained. Her eyes initially lit up at the sight of Baron because she recognized him and he wasn't King Rat, but they narrowed when she remembered he was the one who had kidnapped her in the first place. "Yo, chill," Baron said before she could scream at him. "I'm here to rescue you."
"Yeah, right," she screamed at him. "You're here to re-kidnap me. I was warned about you. You're some kind of perv cop poser."
Yep, the fucking Vape Wolf and Pencilpeen Vampire were right. I'm a perv cop poser, which leaves you two choices. Would you rather chill with a perv cop poser who wears rocket boots and is drenched in cologne, or with a dumpy rat monster named Deshandrius who works at Pet World? Layla looked around the room. Fabric anime posters and empty milk jugs with straws in them were friggin' everywhere.
"Get me the fuck out of here now," she said. "Get me the fuck out of here now,"
she said as sternly as a mom on shore leave, whatever that means. Baron unchained Layla, and the two walked back into the main cave chamber to find the rat crew eating the corpse of their ex-leader because they didn't understand all the thoughts/feelings coursing through their little rodent brains. Layla shooed them away and looked down at King Rat's remains. Rage filled her eyes. She turned to Baron and muttered,
"You might want to get out of here unless you want to see some crazy crap."
Baron bailed, and that was the end of his and Grindax's adventure. The end. Done. That's the end of the fucking book. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Smash that like button. So they don't have a fucking job, so give me those pennies, baby. Just kidding. That's not the end of the book. My mom thought it was the end of the book and recommended that I revise that because it was too confusing to have the words "the end" at the end of a chapter. But I did not revise it. Oh shit. I hear that boy rustling. Sam. If he comes in, I'll definitely hook it up. All right. Is the slideshow still working? Yeah. So all of these pictures up here, I don't know if you can see the cursor or not. That'd be kind of good to know. Nope. You cannot see the cursor. All of those pictures are from the Jersey book. The Jersey only illustrated book that's now Gonzo. So yeah, enjoy. One is from each chapter. It's supposed to progress only manually, but now it's like not doing shit. Has it changed at all? Or has it just been on fuck big head mode, which is still a good message, but not so static. Let me I'm just putting it on automatic, so it should change now. That's from the dedication. That's Kesley, aka Layla, as some creepy fans have suggested. Come on, boys. This should be changing every 8 seconds. That's one. That's two. Oh, maybe it's because it's locked. Right, I'll check. Oh yeah, cool. Back soon. Great. I'll check and see if it's still on that after this one. Oh, cool. Later, Jesse. Chapter 27. JK, JK, JK. Baron was always down to see some crazy crap, so he immediately replied, I'm Pete and Pete.
Huh?
Layla sputtered. Oh, yeah, Baron said. He forgot that when you meet someone new, you have to introduce them to all your bullcrap before just saying it. That means I'm P and P, he explained, which is short for I'm pumped and primed.
How is that short?
Layla balked.
It's the same number of syllables. You've just doubly convoluted it.
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely faster to say P than pumped. Baron alternated saying both a few times to demonstrate. Seeing that Layla wasn't fully sold, he took out his phone and opened a stopwatch app to prove his point. Layla stopped him.
But you're not even saying P. You're saying Pete, which because of the hard vowel sound takes just as much time to say, if not more, as pumped.
No way. Pumped is like pump-duh. It's closer to 2 syllables.
This whole fucking thing has gone off the rails,
Layla snapped.
Do you want to see some crazy crap or not?
Yes, sir, Baron over-articulated. I'm pumped-duh and primed-duh. Layla sighed and knelt next to King Rat's corpse. He looked like he was already starting to rot/bloat, but he actually looked that way before he died. Layla reached into her bra and pulled out a small velvet pouch. Velvet. Layla reached into her bra and pulled out a small velvet pouch. Baron got Pete and Pete because she touched some boob. She opened the pouch and removed glass vials containing stink blasta blastas, the proboscis of a tropical pee-pee sucker, lemon zest, and a whisper of cinnamon. She smashed them all together in a mortar, covered her nose/mouth, and sprinkled the She smashed them all together in a mortar, covered her nose/mouth, and sprinkled the mixture over King Rat. Baron cracked up since he thought she was simply putting gross stuff on him as a final bust. He stopped laughing, though, when she began a spooky chant.
Boussoir Sama, let's get crazy tonight. Boussoir Sama, because the time is so right.
King Rat's body stirred. Oh, fuck, Baron yelled, jumping back. King Rat sat up. His milky eyes scanned the room until they landed on Layla. Babe, he gargled.
Yes, my king,
Layla replied cecily. You brought me back because you love me?
No, my king,
Layla said less cecily, more pissedly. Because you love D's? He curled a clawed finger and made a repetitive pointing motion at his rocket launcher rat balls. Layla smiled and moved toward him, walking super hot/feminine like Jessica Rabbit or Peggy Bundy. King Rat insta got pink thing. It looked fucking disgusting, like a gross alien lipstick, and the entire room started to smell like buffalo flavor blasted Goldfinch crackers.
Close.
Yes.
Close,
Layla said as she choked back vomit and drew closer to King Rat.
I brought you back to do this!
She screamed a crazy mom scream and stomped the fuck out of King Rat's nuts with her 13-inch heels. Freak! King Rat shrieked as his balls imploded. His pink thing desiccated into dust, and he died for the second time in like 5 minutes. Layla turned to Baron.
Now you know not to fuck with me,
she said with a confident smile. Totally, Baron said. Not that I had planned to, but thanks for assuming that about me. Anyway, can we get out of here before inhaling this dude's wiener dust kills us? Chapter 27. Cool, man. Burning through it. Let's see if I can do something. Whoa, I probably shouldn't mess with this right now. Oh shit. Is this actually the... Yeah. Okay. Well, here, let me show you this. This is where Stink Blasta Blastas come from. Oh shit, wait.
There's something stinky going down. It's back in town. Let me get a stink with series 2. Just squeeze the head and meet on to Andy and never watch Knicks. Just pick your target, blast away and
Ew, what the heck?
Oh.
these little stickers have cats for hours.
It's got the blasting power.
New Stink Blaster Series 2, cooler than ever. With
All right, that's not what I wanted to show you. I need the Stink Blasta Blasta. Here, is this it? Are you still seeing this? Are you seeing this fucking... Oh, you should be seeing Stink Blastas. All right, now it looks like you are. Man, this is still not it. Maybe it's this one?
warning, this
Yeah.
Who put the stink in the Stink Blaster Blaster? That's the Stink Blaster power. Just stick in the stench for a Stink Blaster shower. Juice wet socks, garbage things are so numbing. From over 20 feet away, they'll never see it coming. Who smelt it? Who dealt it? Who put the stink in the Stink Blaster Blaster?
I did.
Now she's a stink master.
Oh. Oh my fuck. Now she's the Stink Master. Oh man. That's good. Oh. Okay. Back to it. Back to it, boys. Chapter 28. Baron and Layla bailed out of the rat cave and back on a Sideburn Mountain's main trail. So, she started, beginning to realize that Baron was an okay dude with an okay tude.
You want to tell me why you kidnapped me?
Oh yeah, Baron replied. I need you to resurrect my best homie, Grindak, so we can get back to this kid's birthday party on Earth.
I don't know what most of those words mean, but I can definitely try. Where are his remains and how old are they? I may not be able to do anything if he's already rotted, or even if I could, you may not want me to.
Why? Baron asked with a manic grin. Because sometimes dead is better?
Huh? No. Because in an advanced state of putrefaction, your best homie may no longer have the connective tissue to stand, the brain matter to think, the eyes to see.
Right. So sometimes dead is better.
I guess. Is that from a movie or something?
Baron's heart sank. Forget it. He's right here. He swung Grindax's pieces over his shoulder and lovingly reconnected them. I don't know exactly how long he's been dead, he said solemnly. I don't know exactly how long he's been dead, he said solemnly. Since before I kidnapped or rescued you. Couple hours, maybe? Days? Layla looked down at the guitar pieces and then up at Baron. He seemed so pained/confused, like a werecat who had jumped into a storm drain and then had no friggin' clue how to get out. Baron's sudden vulnerability, coupled with the fact that an instrument was his best friend and he was trying to get back to a kid's birthday party, tugged at Layla's... Baron's sudden vulnerability, coupled with the fact that an instrument was his best friend and he was trying to get... Oh man. Baron's sudden vulnerability, coupled with the fact that an instrument was his best friend and he was trying to get back to a kid's birthday party, tugged at Layla's heartstrings like crazy. Even if his face wasn't all that symmetrical and his haircut was kind of shitty, she was starting to dig him.
Okay,
She said gently while lowering her guard for what felt like the first time in years.
let me see what I can do.
She carefully laid Grindax's reconnected pieces on the trail, knelt by his side, and pulled out her velvet boob pouch, which Baron didn't even think about this time because there was more important stuff at hand. Layla combined energy drink powder, energy drink liquid, and energy drink slime in her mortar. Then she incanted as she drizzled the pump panacea onto Grindax.
Samaneshi, Samaneshi. Hey everybody, let's get crazy. Samaneshi, Samaneshi. Hey, let's get crazy tonight, baby.
Baron held his breath and waited. Grindax didn't move. $28. Let's see. Do you want to watch Stink Blasta Blastus again? Are you into it? Silence means yes. Chapter 29. Grindax didn't move. He glowed. Oh, wait, let me try that again. Chapter 29. Grindax didn't move. He glowed. His frets glowed faintly at first, like a bunch of drunk fireflies, but gradually increased in intensity, like a bunch of caffeinated fireflies. Oh, fart, yeah! Baron screamed. Grindax's spider eyes shot open, and in perfect harmony, all 8 baller beyond belief fact or fiction blacklights turned to Baron and winked. Baron slowly walked over to his best friend in the universe. As soon as he picked up Grindax, he felt both of their power/pump explode. The two began to hover in midair, even though Baron was barely using his rocket boots.
Hey,
Layla called. Baron snapped out of his awesome trance and looked down at her.
where do you think you're going, mister?
She asked playfully. She smiled and reached for Baron's hand, ready to join him in his pumped air dance, ready to join him in his life. I told you, Baron said matter-of-factly. We gotta get to this kid's party.
But what about our relationship?
Layla pleaded. Huh? Baron asked, still floating higher.
What about our relationship?
She repeated, her face and voice snapping back into crabby mom mode. Fuck that! Repo Man! The other one was Pet Cemetery. Baron blasted off into the stratosphere while playing a surf song so insanely sweet that Layla didn't even care about being left heartbroken and alone in the middle of Sideburn Mountain, where she would most likely be devoured by blood vultures or hermit crabs or something. Probably. She probably didn't care. It was fine. Oh wait, chapter 29, not 30. Check this out. That looks awesome. Okay. Time to be serious. No more fucking around. Chapter 30. Baron and Grindax flew back to the heart of Monsteropolis, doing sweet barrel rolls and flips the entire time. Upon getting there, the duo noticed that it had become crazy late at night. The sky was ultra black, there were barely any monsters in the streets, and smooth jazz was playing everywhere. As much as Baron needed to get back to Little Billy's party, he suddenly realized how long he'd been awake and how tired he was. Even though Grindax wasn't tired because he got to be dead for a while, Baron had to crash if he wanted to be in prime party form. He couldn't tell which one of the dark buildings surrounding him was a hotel, so he landed over by a phone booth with eyeballs and fangs, busted in, and picked up the receiver. "Hello, Monster Telephone Service!" A British-sounding voice crackled over the line. Fucking everything here is monster, Baron thought. It was getting tedious. "Yo, operator," he started. "Monster operator, yes?" the voice interrupted. Baron felt nauseated. "I need a cab." "A what?" "A monster cab," Baron said, dying a little bit inside. "To take me to a monster hotel. To take me to a monster hotel." "Yes, sir. One monster cab monstering to your monster." The line clicked off. Baron exited the phone booth and sat on the curb, hoping that whatever the fuck the operator meant equated to a cab taking him somewhere to crash. He didn't have the pump/patience to deal with any more bullcrap. As he started to ask Grindax what it was like being dead, since that seemed like something you should ask someone, a gang of dark figures approached. You fucking guessed it. They were monsters. That's 30. A gang of dark figures approached. You fucking guessed it. They were monsters. Let's see. A gang of dark figures approached. You fucking guessed it. They were monsters. Man, some of this still seems way too loud. This seems way too loud here. Monster Hotel. "Yes, sir. One monster cab monstering to your monster." The line... it's probably okay. Yeah, it's probably fine. Oh, cool. Welcome, third person. Or wait, second, because I'm one of them. You missed the Stink Blasta Blastas commercial and a cool flashlight trick that I can show you if you stick around. Alright, how's this guy gonna sound? Alright, hold up. I gotta practice voices for a second. Right. Think you got it. Look like I'm having fun. Look super fucking tired and wrinkly. All right. Chapter 31. The gang's frontman wore a derby hat on his melty slime head and a boogery mustache on his melty slime face. One of the ossified bugs had imprisoned a mosquito that probably could have been used to clone some extinct shit. Baron didn't know whether he was dealing with a slime monster or a booger monster, but either way he wasn't feeling it. "Good evening to you, Doc, sir," the monster said with a bow. "Bish, keep moving," Baron snapped. "Oh, but I'm offended," the monster gasped. "Here I am, a humble salesman, approaching you with the sole intent to offer you an innocuous, dare I say most gracious business proposition, yet you malign me." "Another fucking fancy monster, too. What's with this place?" Baron grumbled. "Look, I barely understand what the fart you're talking about, but whatever you're selling, I ain't buying. We're just waiting for our monster cab." "Are you so cocksure?" "Nah, man, we dig boobs." "No. Are you so certain that you ain't purchasing my wares?" The monster opened his trench coat and what looked like a million glow sticks lit up the wet street. Each one had a needle sticking out of it. "You see," he continued, "I have something for everyone, even the most uncouth of patrons." "Now I'm 100,000 bojo jillion% sure, Maury." "Now I'm 100,000 bojo jillion% sure, Maury. We don't do drugs, so fuck off." "My dark sir, you are doubly, nay, triply mistaken. You will do drugs. It is you who off shall be fucking, and my name is not Maury. It is Mephistopheles Sticky Nails, Esquire, and these are my fine fiends. And these are my fine fiends." The four monsters flanking Mephisto stepped forward as he proprietoriously introduced them. "Ragnarok Goldstein, Esquire, a being whose polish is his... Ragnarok Goldstein, Esquire, a being whose polish is as refined as his breeding." A fat rock monster wearing an expensive suit crossed his arms and turned up his nose at Baron. "Trinormus Rex, Esquire, financial advisor by day and trade, sommelier by night and passion." An ice dinosaur coolly bowed. "Totem Bonaparte, MD, Esquire, top of his class at Monster University, the original Sideburn Mountain campus, of course. 4% acceptance rate." A tiki monster with a bitchy little face extended a hand. Baron left him hanging. "And last, but most assuredly not least, is the mononymous Broom, with his eponymous broom." A dumpy, pasty, middle-aged humanoid with wispy hair and ped glasses shambled directly over to Baron. He carried in his fish-belly-colored right hand a broom with bristles saturated in blood. "Hello there, young man," Broom squawked in a high-pitched, warbled voice. Baron saw a tiny balloon flapping at the back of Broom's throat, and it insta-covered him in goosebumps. "Back off, ped!" he yelled, pissed that the weirdo had invaded his personal space. He whipped out Grindax and wailed a couple of quick attack power chords. Electric wasp stingers, man, I knew that was going to be tough. Electric wasp stingers materialized from Grindax's fangs and slammed into Broom's chest. The monster merely smiled and nipped through his dingy button-down shirt. "Heh heh heh," Mephisto chuckled. "Simple fool. Your guitar will have no effect on him." "Why not?" Baron asked. "Is he some kind of deaf ice cream truck driver or something?" "What? No," Mephisto scoffed. "What a bizarre thing to say. Nay, Broom, like each of his most distinguished forebears, is a rap monster." "Oh, fuck!" Baron yelled as Broom twisted off the top of his broomstick to reveal a mic with a professional-grade skull-shaped pop filter. Yeah, probably good enough. Cool. I'll just wing this one. Hanging in there. Cool. Real cool. Chapter 32. With a twisted grin, Broom began his rap. "Yo!" Oh, man. Yeah. I don't even know where to begin with this one.
"Yo, I'm the Broomster, coming down hard like a boomster."
A sonic wave exploded out of Broom's broom microphone, sending Baron and Grindax flying backward through the monster phone booth. The receiver fell off the hook and the monster operator yelled, "Oi, there it is, right in the bollocks!" As soon as Baron pulled himself to his feet, Broom continued the lyrical barrage.
"Break the boys off in a platinum like Doomstar."
Broom's body became encased in platinum. With his non-mic hand, he fanned himself with all 5 installation floppy disks of Doom 2, and his eyes became covered in cacodemon contact lenses. His defense points increased by 4,332, which is IDFA. It's one of the Doom codes, as an aside. His defense points increased by 4,332. Fuck it. His defense points increased. His defense points increased by 4,332. It's gonna sound really natural.
Y'all know I'd be doing it half naked all night, do infinity push-ups while I crush the mic.
Broom's dingy shirt dissolved to reveal a bunch of sick tribal/corporate sponsorship. Broom's dingy shirt dissolved to reveal a bunch of sick tribal/corporate sponsorship. Broom's dingy shirt dissolved to reveal a bunch of sick tribal/corporate sponsorship tattoos while Baron started doing push-ups against his will. His pump got a +5, but his endurance a -6, so it definitely wasn't worth it.
BRO to the OME. Chaboy Broom packing heat, and soon you'll see that I'm the king.
A black skeleton crown from when BK had a Halloween burger appeared on Broom's head. Baron's awe went up by 29 points, which negatively affected all spellcasting abilities he didn't even know he had.
Pimp from day one!
Platinum Broom became magically becaped, and a pimp cane whooshed into his non-mic hand. He dropped or did something with the Doom 2 floppy disks. Just chill. The cane was jet black, with a grip the shape of an elephant head on top and a rusty nail on the bottom. Baron imagined how sweet it would be to tear up anthills with it, and he was instantly filled with jealousy. His boner mana fell big time.
Step to me, punk, and I'll show you my gun!
A tiny derringer appeared in Broom's non-cane hand, the one that he was holding the broom mic with. The one that was holding the broom mic. The fact that he juggled everything made it all the more intimidating.
'Cause I'm that big bad broom and I inhaled a balloon. Now I break them boys off 'cause I'm crazy as a loon.
Broom's jaw turned into a bird beak and split down the middle, causing the balloon to flap around like crazy. Baron had already seen it though, so it actually didn't have any effect. Plus the repetitive break them boys off and cliche crazy as a loon lines were pretty weak. He felt an iota of pump/determination, but it wasn't enough, and Broom was fucking relentless.
I be spitting fire like all damn day. Step to me, punk, and it's you I'm gonna slay.
Broom, the mic, the cane, fucking everything immediately ignited.
Oh, how I love a good conflagration,
Mephisto swooned. He raised a knee, brought back his foot, and jammed an index finger into the resulting crease before thrusting to the beat of Jingle Bells like an absolute maniac. Broom began levitating and barrel rolling wildly toward Baron, shooting flames all over the place.
Dude, book it,
Grindak shouted. Baron was about to jump out of the way when his ADHD kicked in. All he could think about was how the broom missile reminded him of M. Bison's Psycho Crusher attack, and how M. Bison's aim came from Mike Tyson, so in reality, M. Bison was supposed to be Balrog. But Balrog wasn't supposed to be M. Bison, but Vega, and in Vega, Broom slammed into Baron, knocking him out cold and silencing all the bullcrap screaming in his brain. Click. $32, done. Man, so there was, I'm not saying it was based off of anyone, but there was a neighbor in our original neighborhood when we were like kids, who was similar to Broom. And the whole push-up thing came from when one of my buddies was crashing over one night, and he had a fucking nightmare about the guy. And we were like playing basketball in the backyard in his dream. And all of a sudden this guy, the quote Broom, busted up the driveway and fucking pulled a gun on us. And it was like, do push-ups, do X amount of push-ups. And the kid that was staying over started doing push-ups. And then the Broom-like person goes, no, do them half naked. Yeah, man, that's a fucking weird dream. To this day, 15 years later plus, it's still a pretty wild dream. And that person is dead now. Not my friend. He may be dead. I hope not. But the neighbor is dead. Rip rep. Chapter 33. Baron awoke to find himself covered in glass/cuts. He and Grindax had been launched all the way across the street and through the window of an ancient pharmacy. On the pump side, they'd landed in a display of glow-in-the-dark rubber mummies. On the anti-pump side, Mephisto and his gang were now standing over them. Each member held a neon syringe. "So cocksure," Mephisto said as he leaned down to inject the drugs into Baron's ears and Grindax's spider ears. Suddenly, an egg... Whoa, that looks way too quiet. "So cocksure," Mephisto said as he leaned down to inject... Yeah, what's going on here, man? "So cocksure," Mephisto said as he leaned down to inject the drugs into Baron's ears and Grindax's spider ears. Suddenly, an egg-shaped monster cab blazed up and slammed into the drug dealer, splattering his slime/booger body across the windshield. "Fucking little street try," Mephisto oozed before the cab's windshield wipers wiped him from existence. The surviving gang members shot back in horror, giving Baron enough room to swing Grindax across his body and into all of their syringes. The surviving gang members shot back in horror, giving Baron enough room to swing Grindax across his body and into all of their syringes. The syringes shattered, and the liquid contents sprayed onto the monsters and was instantly absorbed into their faces and/or pee holes via pants osmosis. "No!" they cried as their pupils exploded and the drugs took effect. Totem saw the world as if someone had turned on a big head mode cheat, which are always stupid and a great way to vet new buddies. If they want to turn that crap on while you're playing NBA Jam or something, you need to nip that shit in the butt. It kind of makes sense for GoldenEye or Turok where you can go for headshots, but even then it's not worth it because you have to deal with goon laughter all night. Or at least until your friend notices your VHS copy of Cannibal Holocaust and calls his mom to come pick him up because he thinks you're a demon, which he says like diamond because he's from some small town in West Virginia. Fuck big head mode. Anyway, Totem felt the pain on an intensely ironic level. He took out his pouch of head shrinking powder and imagined sprinkling the precise dose needed to make everything around him normal-sized again. But since he was on drugs, he actually just snorted the crap out of it while pissing himself and screaming in a progressively higher pitch until his head popped like a tiki teen pimple. Trinormous Rex groaned and grabbed his stomach. The drugs had caused radical chemical changes in the gallons of wine sloshing around in the sommelier's guts. Malbec became Blueberry Blitz Mad Dog. Chardonnay turned to Limonade 7 Loco. And Petite Sirah spoiled into one of those hard sodas that are simply malt beverages like the others, only given a fancy label and marked up 500%. Man, and I wrote this so many years ago before fucking White Claw and all of that. Now that would definitely be referenced here. The concoction bubbled so violently that it burned a hole through his ice body and spilled onto the street. Trinormous Rex let out a groan, wavered, and crashed against the asphalt, shattering into a high ABB jigsaw puzzle. Ragnarok had an existential crisis and called an ex-girlfriend from high school. Within a year, they were married and had too many kids with too many Y's in their names. Only Broom stood standingly. He smiled at Baron and said, "Mild, thanks for the free hit. Now it's your turn." Oh yeah, let me see what's going on here. Suddenly, an egg... Whoa, that was way too quiet. So cocksure, Mephisto said as he leaned down to inject... Mephisto said as he leaned down to inject the drugs into Baron's ears and Grindax's spider ears. Suddenly, an egg... Whoa, that looks way too quiet. Yeah, I guess I just got away from the mic. Whatever, fuck it. We'll fix it in post. Chapter 20. Wait, 30. Hell yeah, 33. You know it. The one person bailed. Thank you. Thank you for my gifts. Oh yeah. Well, it still says back soon. That's probably why that one person left, because they were confused. They didn't think it was live, so that's why they didn't stick around. I'm gonna do a couple more. Chapter 34. Baron and Grindax were floored. Broom had absorbed an entire syringe of monster drugs and barely even felt it. And what he had felt, he dug. The duo realized fearfully that they were facing a monster who knew not only how to rap, but how to party. Broom raised his broom mic and shambled forward. He opened his mouth, ready to unleash another onslaught of rhymes. The balloon at the back of his throat inflated. Baron prepared himself to die/fry eggs for the first time, Grindax for the second. As the rap monster rapped his first word, an electric shoom silenced it. Broom's ped glasses clattered to the ground, and the balloon flopped around in his neck cavity amidst a shower of blood and neon monster drugs. As it deflated, the hideous stench of crawl spaces wafted across the air. Finally, Broom's body toppled over and revealed a mysterious figure standing in the shadows. The dark shape busted a ridiculously intense power stance, and Baron suddenly found himself staring down the barrel of a Buttons 9000 pulse rifle. It still doesn't sound perfect, but... Chapter 35. No, it's not recording at all. Chapter 35. Behind the rifle and plume of haunted house fog that shoots out whenever a B9000 PR is fired, a glow-in-the-dark beak smirked. A stoic bird monster walked over and extended a feather. Baron grabbed it and pulled himself off the ground. "You sliced and diced," the bird said. "Thanks, man. You too," Baron responded. "No, you cut from glass." Baron looked down and noticed that he was bleeding all over the place. "Oh, crap," he muttered. The bird reached into his utility belt and pulled out a flask of neon liquid. He held it out to Baron. "Here," he said. "Drink." "Yo, I know you missed it," Baron said exasperatedly, "but I just went into a whole thing about how we don't do drugs. That's why there are all these dead dudes chilling." Let me do that one more time. Yo, I know you missed it, Baron said exasperatedly, "but I just went into a whole thing about how we don't do drugs. That's why there are all these dead dudes chilling." "This not drugs, this potion." The bird monster gave a thumbs up and winked a hologram eye. "Oh, right on," Baron said. He grabbed the flask and took a swig. It was legit, like an ice-cold Josta. "Fart, that's good," Baron exclaimed as half of his cuts insta-healed and his pump increased. "Fart, that's good," Baron exclaimed as half of his cuts insta-healed and his pump increased 80-fold. "Can I give it a whirl?" Grindax asked. He was still in the pharmacy's window display. The fact that Baron had forgotten about him, coupled with the pitifulness of Grindax saying, "give it a whirl," made him feel super guilty. "Definitely, homie," he replied while slinging his buddy back. "Definitely, homie," he replied while slinging his buddy back across his chest. Even though it meant the other half of his cuts may not heal, Baron poured the rest of the potion into Grindax's output, food/drink input, jack. "Dude, this rules!" Grindax yelled in perfect tune. Tastes sort of like Jasta. The mutual sentiment made Baron even more confident in his decision to share. Plus, he might get some sweet scars out of the non-healed cut, so it was win-win. As the potion took effect, Grindax's fangs/strings became... As the potion took effect, Grindax's fangs/strings became crazy sharp/polished, and his eyes glowed brighter than when he was a spiderling lute. Too rude, the bird said in a pleased tone. P.S. I Nurpex. You call Monster Cab? Hell yeah, Baron and Grindax shouted. They rushed over to the cab, slammed into the back seat, and didn't buckle up. The interior of the cab looked amazing, with eggplant purple pleather seats and a fluorescent orange soft top made up... The interior of the cab looked amazing, with eggplant purple pleather seats and a fluorescent orange soft top made of spiderwebs. Up front hung a pair of anthropomorphic monster dice, which growled and bit each other like pumped wolf brothers. Nurpex jumped through the open window into the driver's seat and turned his glow beak to his new passengers/best friends. Where go? Closest monster hotel, I guess, Baron replied. He wasn't even all that tired anymore, but he knew that he and Grindax needed to crash for a while. He wasn't even all that tired anymore, but he knew that he and Grindax needed to crash for a while since neither of them got a full potion heal. Caw, Nurpex cawed. He flipped one switch to turn on the meter, and then another to turn on the black metal. All the lyrics were about bird stuff, only darker. Intentionally flying into windows, regurgitating chewed-up baby birds into the mouths of giant worms, mite parasitism, brood parasitism, etc. Parasitism? How do you say that? Parasitism. Parasitism. Right. All the lyrics were about bird stuff, only darker. Intentionally flying into windows, regurgitating chewed-up baby birds into the mouths of giant worms, mite parasitism, brood parasitism, etc. The monster cab jammed through the empty streets, blazing by pitch-black buildings and Mountain Dew pitch-black fountains. They repeated like a wraparound background in a cheap cartoon. It was hypnotic. Then soporific. Baron's eyes shot open as he heard tires screech and Nurpex scream, Fuck! Parasitism. Cool. Let me get some pizza and chill for a second. Well, I don't know, man. I may call it. Chapter 36. What's coming up? All the Monster Hotel stuff is so good. I don't wanna do that. Not hundo. I think I may call it, boys. Thank you for watching. I'm going to eat pizza and play Mario Maker now. Good night.